What is up, everybody? We got, it is time. It is indeed time. We got Andrewtheruff versus Stonehenge. Semifinals match of my top 30 tournament. This is going to be absolutely ridiculously exciting. Got my girl in the chat. What up, baby? Right at Disneyland. I went for an epic AI song. That's what I got. What up, Misery? We're going to go ahead and undeafen here. Yo, yo.
There he is.
What up,
Yo.
man?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. It is time.
Oh, I'm so ready. Walking straight in, perfect timing, ready to go.
Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
All
Okay,
right,
competitors are getting ready to go. People warming up, getting the thumbs warm, getting the vocal cords warm, getting the
clearing the
blood
throat.
flowing.
We're here.
How now, brown cow?
I said that 42 times before starting the stream.
I have to. Have to.
All right, gonna go ahead and let our competitors know that we are basically ready to go. Let me know when ready. Okay, yep, Andy does invite first.
Yes, sir. Oh, what a matchup we've got today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. I mean, just talk about goats of the game. You got Andy, perennial C1,
C1 King.
stepping back, C1 king. But then you got Stone, who's just a monster, an absolute monster.
Monster, one of the scariest rosters in the game. When he's on one, he's really on one.
Oh, absolutely. And he's been on one. I mean, he's been climbing here very nicely. He's
Really
done well in
has.
his matchups.
Yeah, both
He's playing
players
strong.
pretty much dominated every match in this tournament. So we're seeing two unstoppable forces just clashing with each other, just a couple juggernauts,
Oh,
if you will.
a couple jugs. Neither of them's an immovable object, huh?
Nah, they're
Dang, I
both
thought we could have brought it
unstoppable
together there.
forces.
That's fair. I gotta have some love for Andy too. I love him being an unstoppable force and full of that West Coast chill.
Full of it. Huge
Full of it.
matchup this evening. It absolutely is. What is up, everybody? If you're just joining
What's
us,
going on?
we got the top 30 tournament. This is semifinals, best of 9. Winner goes to the finals. This is for a guaranteed $300. Both players have guaranteed themselves at least $50, and they're shooting for the $500 grand prize. Pretty
Oh,
solid
let's
money.
go. That's spicy. Spicy money. I mean,
Spicy,
imagine
spicy money.
playing this mega buggy trash video game and getting an opportunity to actually make a decent chunk of change.
It's
Let's
uh,
go.
it's definitely a privilege, man, to be hosting
Yeah,
this
I know that.
tournament and to be able to get the prize pool that we were able to get for it. You know, the biggest money prize pool for a tournament, I believe. Maybe I think KT1 had a pretty big prize pool, but it was a little bit different. And so,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, we are just about to go. We're gonna go ahead and get both competitors. I let both of them know that they're ready to go, ready to invite when they are able to. It looks like Andy restarted his game a couple times just to make sure that there's no technical difficulties. Um,
We had it bugged him out last time.
yeah,
Ah,
I see
this
somebody
game we play.
sponsoring this in chat. Yeah, so let me shout out some of the sponsors. So Stonehenge himself is actually one of the sponsors. So he'll get back most of his money if he wins this match here. And we have Puppy Power as another one. We got Jacquez Payne,
Hey.
1234 bruh, Half, Audacity, DKM. All awesome people, awesome sponsors, and yeah, it looks like they're in. or it looks like Andy invited Stone, so we're gonna jump
Let's
straight into
go.
this one.
Let's go. Now, it looks like their timing's pretty lined up. It's looking good on my end.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Let's see. Just gonna have to pause Stone's stream just for a second here.
Hmm.
21. Yeah, it looks like we got the seconds on lock. So we're gonna start this off talking about these bands here. We got rank 4 Zola gone, rank 4
Oof.
Photon gone, rank 4 Mojo
Yep.
not there, not happening. And on the other end, Andy goes for the rank 4 bands on Future Ant-Man, Red Guardian, and the Hood. Makes a lot of sense on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Stone's going to go off rip and grab that Juggernaut, one of the most versatile champions in the game. He can take so much. He's such a problem. And Andy does the exact same on the other end and grabs a Red Skull as well. Next, we got Stone grabbing, of course, the rank 4 Bullseye. That's going to be a major problem for Andy in this match, I think. He does have the Okoye, which will shut that down completely. So this is a huge draft round out of Andy to get both Okoye and the Tigra, super versatile
Ooh, look at
champion.
that Tigra. Let's go.
Rank 4 Tigra is going to be a problem, man. But on the other end, Stone is going to grab the Null. I think we're going to see Yelena here too. Yeah, Yelena is so scary in Stone's roster. It really hurts to have to ban a 6-star in his insane roster. But man, if you don't have a counter to Yelena, you're going to struggle. So let's see what Andrew does here. I'm really not sure what exactly the counter can be. I think Tigra can take the Yelena though.
She can. I can confirm that is true.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm glad. Um, Stone does have an unawakened Okoye. Slight little note. Let's see if that plays a role in this match. Okoye cannot take Mystics without the dupe. So, and then Andrew's gonna go ahead and grab the Serpent at the end here. Stone did get a Serpent counter right before that with the Tigra, and he also got his rank 3 Rintra, who's definitely one of the best stalls in this meta. So let's see, Stone places that pesky rank 4 Null as Andrew goes
Yeah.
ahead and places the Dust. Dust is a super problematic defender for Stone this round, as yeah, Stone's going to have to use Juggernaut, which is not an ideal matchup. That's an Awakened Dust. If Stone got insanely lucky, he could do this fight without getting a Sand debuff on
Yeah.
him, but it's unlikely.
It's very unlikely. A heck of a gamble to come out the gate. Big swing.
Really, really is. As on the other end, we're going to see
Yeah.
the Tigra versus the rank 4 Null. Rank 4s versus rank 4s. Ooh, Andy takes a heavy off rip. That is not a good start
Yeah.
for Andy.
He does, but down there we got Stone getting that debuff right when he crossed the first 10. So
Yep.
gamble thus far not paying off.
So what Stone's going to go ahead and do is he's going to go straight to that SP3 so debuffs cannot remove the gem for 30 seconds. Smart play out of Stone here. He really had to save his Tigra for the Serpent, so he had to use the Juggernaut here, whereas on the other end, it's really not going very well for Andy at all. Taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, this fight against this Null,
Yeah,
it's not the easiest, man. It's definitely one of the harder matchups for Tigra.
yeah, far from ideal for sure. That heavy counter is exceedingly tough and pretty inconsistent.
It definitely is. And man, Stone, what a play out of Stone here, honestly.
Yeah.
Ooh, tries to go for the stand-up light as she stood up. Unfortunately, did not work out for him there. Um, but it's still looking like he's gonna have this round as long as he can just get one of these intercepts to land.
I mean, yeah, the AI these days, but you're right. He just needs to stay calm, finish the fight. He's in a good spot. Doesn't know what's going on over there, so he's being smart about it, right? I'm just gonna go as low and slow.
Exactly. Smart.
Barbecue play. I got that coming up this weekend. Let's barbecue, baby. Oof. Andy's just slogging through it.
Yeah, man, that's tough. And Stone's gonna go ahead and grab this first round in the first match with the Juggernaut versus Dust. An unlikely counter, but nevertheless, it works as long as you know how to do that fight.
Yeah.
I do think we might see a shift in the bans here. We might see Andrew just get rid of that rank 4 null. Too much of an issue.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, at the very least, obviously, it makes you aware. But I mean, Stone was early on that train, and anytime I ran into him, got to get rid of that thing because rank 4 null, it's just nasty. Nasty two-way,
Really
nasty on
is.
defense. Tough to get stuck in that situation.
And he's just such a great counter because Tiger's not easy versus him, and Juggernaut does
Hmm.
not really work against him. So really shuts down two of the best Mystic attackers. On the other end, we're going to go ahead and see Andrew throw down the Deathless Thanos, and we should see, yep, Stone throws down the rank 4 Bullseye. This is going to be a throw round for
Hmm.
Stone. Definitely a throw
Hmm.
round. Because Andrew has nobody really for that Rintra, and Stone's definitely just going to throw this round using Guardian against Deathless
Hmm.
Thanos. Not an ideal matchup by any means. He knows he's going to lose this round. He's setting himself up beautifully for round 3. I want to say he's going to throw down Rintra, but Yelena's on the board as well.
Yeah, I would think that just based on what Andy's looking at, that's where he's going. Stone's probably just looking to Tiger whatever goes down. We'll
Exactly where I'm
see.
at. And
Yeah.
Serpent, it's not the easiest Tiger matchup either. Like there's some spacing difficulty there. Of course, both of these players are phenomenal players, but if you
Mhm.
get caught in that spacing, it could really throw you off.
Absolutely. And not to mention, it is only, still a 25% chance you see death immunity.
Exactly. So that is another factor to be taken into account here.
Oh,
Yep.
Stone coming in with that accidental parry.
Yep, I feel like that happens a lot versus Thanos. I've been seeing that a lot versus Thanos. I've been doing it a lot versus Thanos. Yeah, he's
Oh,
taking some hits here. He might as well just let him
yeah.
let him hit himself to death. But you never know
Mm,
what's happening on the other end.
that's true. And you can have some fun, test some matchups out. I
Exactly.
feel you on that accidental parry, by the way. Thanos for sure. And the special one, right? Just a silly clip once in a while.
Yep.
Also for me, Bullseye. Bullseye's been catching me a lot on accidental parries.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it is about those animations. Photon does it as well. I think it's
Mm,
just those high pressure matchups that it
mm-hmm,
catches you. You're so focused on everything else that you're not thinking about, oh, will this potentially parry me and I will get screwed over in this fight.
mm-hmm. No, that's fair.
Yeah, so he's
That's
gonna go ahead
fair.
and die here. I appreciate
There it
Stone for
is.
taking some hits, ending the fight early, so we don't have to keep watching that. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for Stone. Does Stone throw down the Yelena or does Stone go for the Rintra? We're definitely going to be seeing Serpent on defense for Andy. Tigra easily takes the Red Skull.
Let's take Stone out. What would you do? Who are you placing here?
I would go with
He
Rintra.
doesn't even hesitate. Yeah,
Yeah,
no hesitation.
if we're
He
talking,
is on it.
oh, this is interesting.
Interesting move.
Out of Andrew, Juggernaut's a
Okay.
very sneaky defender in this meta. I did not consider that, but I still think
Oh,
Tigra still would have cooked
okay.
that fight.
I think so too. I think she would have also.
Now,
What's up, Nick, Chris, Time? Good
what up,
day, gentlemen.
everybody? Um,
It's
yeah,
popping.
now
It's peaceful.
Andy's got the major disadvantage in this match, but let's see how Stone does this. Great spacing
Yeah.
off the rip. That's exactly what we want to see. We're going to try to see Stone push Serpent to the SP2. This spacing is perfect so far.
Hmm.
And man, on the other end, it's just not
Oh,
going to be easy.
interesting move. Oh, he saw the MD incoming. Very smart move on Stone's part.
Yep.
Very
Very
smart
smart
move.
move. Unfortunately, he's getting a lot of
Oof, but
power.
that
He
tower's getting
needs
tight.
this
Ooh,
SP2 to be thrown.
throw
It's
it.
thrown. That's massive.
Oh,
So we should see him hold heavy here. Oh, he's just going
yeah.
to go for the SP2. He's just pushing
Nice
him.
move. Yeah.
Yep. And on the other end, we're literally only seeing 9% health taken off this Rintra. So even if
He's just getting
Stone,
warmed up.
oh, the death immunity, there it is. That is
Oh
extremely
no. Oh no.
unfortunate, but he does get the special
Ooh.
2 thrown. That's massive.
Wow.
And he's going to get the kill. Even with the death
Wow.
immunity, that is exactly what Stone
Serpent
was looking for.
cooperates. What
Stonehenge
a
is off to a hot start.
yes, sir. Unfortunately, Rintra, that power gain, that big beefy cow
Yeah, man, this is
gets the
why
SP3.
Rentra's almost an auto pick for defense for a lot of players in
Yeah.
this meta because you're really not gonna have too many good options that are sitting in your deck. You know, there are the Titanias, there are the Spider Hams. You're not seeing many Spider Hams in this meta just because you can't
Yeah.
parry. It slows them down a lot. You're risking potentially like not even being able to kill the cow with pig. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, here it's going to be interesting to see. Andy's probably going to start to take some better counters for Rintra. I'm not exactly sure
Mm-hmm.
what Andy's deck looks like, but he's definitely got him in there. I'm sure he's going to be really
Mm-hmm.
looking for the Titania here pretty soon. And
Yeah,
Andrew
I'm very
did.
intrigued to see how Andy switches things up in round two. I think to your initial point, I think we're going to see some bans shift. I think we're going to see him, take note of this first round blow that Stone has struck.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We're definitely going to be seeing a shift in strategy here. If we don't, then there may be a shift in the drafting strategy. We'll see exactly how that goes down. I do think Andy still probably feels like he can get that null down with Tigra, but
Yeah.
maybe he's not very comfortable with the spacing. Of course, a phenomenal player, but with Tigra, there's different spacing for every single fight, basically. So if
Yeah.
you're not feeling comfortable with the spacing, it really limits what you can do with Tigra.
Yeah. Very much agreed. What's up, Nah? What's up, Alden? Good to see you. He plays Juggy too.
Notes in chat.
I've considered it. Okay.
All right, so we're seeing the same bands here.
Mhm. Okay,
Um,
yeah, he paused for a second but went forward. I can respect that. I think
yeah,
those are three still great bands.
those bands still do make a lot of sense. On the other end, Andrew's going to go ahead and get the Dark Phoenix off rip. That's huge for Andy. Honestly, I would say if Stone doesn't get Dark Phoenix himself, he's going to be at a major disadvantage in this draft.
Hmm.
As Andy is going to get the Red Skull and the Tiger. Red Skull is a good little counter for the Weapon X. Stone just immediately grabs that null again. However, Andy's going to get the Titania, who's a pretty solid counter for null, and he's also going to
Mm-hmm.
get Domino. As Stone does not get a counter for Domino, we might see a reroll here.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, there's the reroll. So we should be seeing
Yes.
probably a Koye as well. He oh nope, gonna switch over to the
Oh, nice
Serpent.
little switch up. Okay.
On the other end, we should be seeing Andy take the Serpent as well to split that spiral. Oh, actually, he has the Shatra as well, so I am incorrect on that. Grabs the Atuma. Stone does not have a stand-up counter currently for that Atuma. Stone's gonna need to get somebody for this, and he does immediately. Does he go with the Dark Phoenix instead, though?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, you did say which one's the bigger advantage, I suppose.
Yep. I feel
Now
like
he takes the counter.
yeah, he
Yeah.
felt pretty good about his defensive options there. He needed the counter desperately and got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at, on Andrew's side, he needs to win this round because he really doesn't have any great defenders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just counters for every defender he's got. So he needs to win this round.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to use that Tigra. However, on the other side, Stone also doesn't have the best options defensively. This fight can be
That's fair.
really
Let's
fast
see how
too.
it goes. Absolutely, yeah. Spiral can do this. Let's see which of these gentlemen's going to make it happen.
As Andy has that spacing
Ooh.
down for sure. You can tell he's very comfortable with this fight. He knows exactly how to do this. Spiral will basically shut off the immortality. So as
No,
long as
he gets pushed red from the MD, from those
oh
energizes.
no, yeah.
That's going to take some time. That's going to hurt
Yep.
if Stone does this clean.
Yep, and that's why the last round we saw Stone throw the SP1 so that he could avoid all of that MD. That's just pretty much just tells you that Stone's done this fight probably more in this meta.
Yeah.
As unfortunately on Stone's end, he took some damage. He took a hit, he took a heavy, and is starting to take
What's
that
happening
extra
here? Oh, the
damage.
death immunity
Ooh,
triggers.
death immunity
Oh
triggers, but he
no.
should be able to wait this out
Yeah, I
with
think
some slow
so.
combos
Goes
and
the
then into
slow
the yep,
combo.
beautiful.
Oh, that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Andy's the C1 king.
Yep.
What
Even
what a pro move to just drag that out as long as possible.
yeah, man. Even with the the fight not going exactly how Andrew wanted it to. I don't know what just happened to the stream. We're gonna reload it. We might be a little bit off on the oops, on the timing here. Yep, we're a little bit off. We're gonna catch up though. All right, back to it. But yeah, as I was saying, in that fight, even as Andy did, it did not go as well as he was hoping it would. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's still, man, throwing that relic, just having that knowledge to do that type of stuff is so huge in these
Mm-hmm.
matchups.
Indeed. Now we see Stone come out with that big null,
Null's
and
gonna be a
Andy's
problem.
countering and throwing the Atuma down.
We will see Kushala here. Kushala's phenomenal. Arguably the best attacker in this meta if you're looking at terms of flexibility.
Yeah.
Oh, not going to go
Oh,
with the
he's
Kushala, though. That is interesting because on the
interesting.
other end,
Okay.
Stone does have that Guardian. I really thought we'd see the Kushala here. However, this probably is going to be a throw round for Andy. I
Okay.
think that rank 4 dust is going to be too fast. This null, even a rank 3 null would really slow this fight down. Rank 4, of course, is
Okay.
just even more of a
Okay.
problem.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying Andy's basically completely focused on round 3, taking
Yep.
this as a throw, knows he can get the fight down in case something wacky goes on, but ultimately just doesn't think he's going to outpace the rank 4 dust, which, to be honest, as he 31 seconds out of Tuma, I think
31
Andy knows what
seconds.
he's talking about.
Yeah,
31 seconds with load.
with load
Wow.
time.
Rank 4 dust is something else.
Next level
Hey,
champion.
what's up, Cannabis? I am the Truth Comic, and that other voice you hear is the organizer and host of this tournament, Empy himself, the Big E.
That's me, man. I'm Empy. Looks like on or Andrew's end, unfortunately, the intimidate failed. It's not like it really mattered though.
Ooh.
Taking a lot of hits, of
Yeah.
course.
Dude, that null damage was nasty.
You know, when you have a
Oof.
fight like that where it doesn't go exactly how you wanted it to go, and you come out and your opponent did it in 31 seconds, it hurts a little bit less.
Oh, I 1,000,000% agree with you. Couldn't agree more. When you come out and they just cooked it as expected, you're just like, ah, thank God.
Yep.
Thank God.
So I would say Andrew does have the advantage here. I
Okay.
am surprised that Andrew played this the way he did. This is why I thought Andrew wanted to save the Titania, who's a much better option for Guardian on
Mm-hmm.
defense.
Mm-hmm. So
And
you think the opponent, Andy's just going to push and kind of go hard here to minimize Guardian's
yeah,
special throwing?
yep, I think he's just going to send this. However, this
Mhm.
isn't really going to
Oh,
do very
wow.
much damage on these SP1s. I'm expecting him to go to SP3 for those degens.
Interesting. He throws
Oh,
it quick.
yeah, he's going to get that auto block. He's going to get pushed to SP3. That's a very lucky
Oh,
medium medium.
wow.
And if we're looking at Stone's fight
Mm,
over here, this is going very, very well. This is exactly how Stone wants this fight to go. Yeah, this is
yeah.
this is extremely fast. I think we're gonna see
Wow.
SP1
That
here.
was gnarly.
Man, yeah. This is why when Shothra's on the board, Domino's not that safe of a defender to throw down. Shothra is just
Mm,
way too good.
I didn't realize she did that fight that well. Looks like Andy did wind up getting that armor break on, but too little, too late.
Yep. And as Na said in the
Goes for the
comments,
light. Gets
uh,
hit in the face.
once the armor is gone, the energy resistance is gone, which I was actually not aware of, so I appreciate that shout out. Regardless,
Hmm.
just not enough there, man.
Ooh.
Just played beautifully by Stone.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is. He is on point. I mean, we said it. He was coming in hot, and he's been right in stride, not slowing down a beat.
Yep. And I really do think, because I definitely know for a fact that Stone has been playing this meta a heck of a lot more than Andy. He's been kind of going up and down in the ranks,
Hmm.
still playing great. So I think the experience in this meta is definitely what's giving Stone the advantage.
I mean, I can see that. He comes up with all sorts of tricky matchups through the time when you play that much. Get more feel for it. And this is not as straightforward a meta as many. And
Yeah,
Andy couldn't ban any quicker.
yeah,
He is not wavering.
he's set on those bans. I think we're gonna see the Shothra
Yeah.
out of Andy here, man. That Shothra and the Kushala, they're just so versatile.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see that Shield. Shield is also a very valuable champion to have at rank 3 in this meta. She can take so many fights, really. It looks like Stone might not go for the Shield, but still a very valuable champion. Also, I appreciate the compliment Triz time. I saw it, and I appreciate that. Truth and I are definitely we were excited to do this, man. I was excited to try out the whole commentating thing and have Truth alongside with me.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a fantastic time. And really just getting started. I mean, this is the first semifinal. We still got a whole lower bracket. We got another semifinal. We got finals.
Exactly.
And
We're
not a
not
lot of
done just
time.
yet.
No,
So
sir.
jumping into this draft, we see Stone grab that rank 4 dust. That's almost an auto pick, I would say, for Stone. Same with the null. Um, Andrew, I don't think Andrew's loving this draft so far. With
Yeah.
there's just so many problematic defenders that Andrew just doesn't have counters for right now. Ooh, but we do see the Dark Phoenix
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Deadpool. Deadpool is going to be valuable for the bullseye. However, it's a rank 4
Does that?
bullseye.
He goes to the Guardian? Nope, he goes to the Deadpool.
Yeah, the Deadpool's just too good for versus Bullseye, but he does not kill in one SP2 like normally you would see a rank 3 Bullseye goes down in one SP1, excuse me,
Hmm.
unless the opponent has Coagulate. Now on this other end, we're seeing Stone needs to go for some attackers here. That's why we're not seeing
Hmm.
Yelena picked. There's also Deadpool on the other end, so that's a reason why. Do we see Andrew go for the rank 4 Sinister here? We do. That could be a defender for Andrew, or we could be seeing that against the Bullseye. It's not an ideal matchup in this meta because you
Oh,
can't stun, but it still works.
yeah, it does work. I mean, I've had people 100% me.
Yep,
So,
and there it is.
and down with
So
the null. Yeah, there's the Sinister.
Mr. Sinister is going to be
Yeah,
on
you
attack.
gotta love that.
What do we see here? I don't know what Stone does. Stone's really thinking about this. It's going to be one of these Mystic attackers that he's going to have to use. Shothra, I do agree, probably makes the most sense. We're going to be seeing the Dark Phoenix taken by that Spiral, and then we should
Yeah.
be seeing Thanos or Onslaught. Ooh, looks like he's going to use Onslaught, so Thanos will be taken by the Tiger for Stone. This
Ooh,
this isn't
ooh,
an
this is a big
ideal
round.
matchup for
This is a
Andrew.
big round.
Null has
No,
that
I feel
degen
like he needs it.
resistance.
Feel like he needs it. That's a good call. And I'm sure the Daunted will get past a lot of that.
Yep, that's true. In this fight, it looks like Andrew's Mr. Sinister got two Mystics. Typically, that would not be good, but with all of the power draining abilities that Shothra has, it might not matter. Let's see how that plays into this match. As on Andy's side, it's going exactly how he wants it to go. Let's just see how fast he can get this fight down. Probably going to counter this
Oh,
SP2 with a heavy. Oh no, I didn't see what happened
yeah.
on Stone's
Don't
end
get
there.
hit in the face. Yeah, he was kind of backing off for the heavy charge, and Sinister just came in aggressive.
Just pushed him. That is
Yeah,
why.
some basics.
Oh,
Ooh,
does not get the
all right,
heavy to connect
interceptor
there.
releasing the heavy.
Yeah, we
All
need to
right,
see
Andy
the
just needs
perfect
to
fight out
close
of
it
Andy
out.
here. And as you're
Great
seeing,
counters as
that
well.
degen
Get warmed
damage
up.
typically would be doing a lot more ticking as
Yeah,
against another defender. However, it looks like
man.
Stone drops to the Mr. Sinister. That was a very clutch last round draft out of Andrew.
Yeah, yeah. Clutch and, you know, gutsy to just come flat out and throw it down on defense, knowing exactly what he wants to do. He's not wavering or feeling shaken, I don't think, at this moment. He's in an
No,
unusual situation for Andy.
yeah, we
But
don't usually see
he's
Andy down 2-0, but
yeah,
we're gonna actually really be able to see how Andy performs when his back's against the wall. And this was a perfect fight out of Andy.
yeah.
Not a fast fight, but a perfect fight. And honestly, some of that fight is honestly more impressive than a lot of other fights you see that drop in about 50 seconds because he had to play that fight safe and perfectly the whole way through.
Mhm. Yep.
And now I
Hey,
would
what's up, bro?
say that Andy actually is kind of in the driver's seat. Unfortunately, Andy has to place first here. I'm sure he would like to have placed first or second in the second round after winning the first round. But he's going to go ahead and throw down the Deathless Thanos. As on the
That
other
makes
end,
sense.
we're going to see the dust thrown down. This can be a very fast fight. That's a rank 4 versus a rank 4. On the other end, it's a rank 3 Tiger versus a rank 3 Deathless Thanos. In this fight, you typically want to be throwing the SP1s with Tigra because they do so much damage and you get so much MD. Let's see how this goes.
Mm.
Andrew is going to be trying to push this dust against the wall, trying to get an intercept there. No luck on that, but that's okay. Trying to push her against the wall and bait these SP1s. You can counter very well. Nice. He gets the SP1 to be thrown. And he's going to start throwing these heavies against the wall. This is lined up
Oh, there
beautiful
he
for Andrew
is.
so far.
Yeah, he's in the cycle.
But on the
Stone's
other
Stone's
end,
putting in work.
yeah,
But,
Stone's doing well right now on the other end. Throwing those SP1s,
oh,
doing
he's
exactly as we expected.
just cooperating.
Ooh, let's see.
Ooh, he gets a little bit of
Baits
stand
out the
ground.
SP1. Oh, he's got to throw the SP1 himself. The stand your ground's really hurting him right now, but that's okay. Let's see if he gets... Oh, he gets the sandstorm. This is dangerous. Oh, Stone's playing his fight beautifully on the other end,
Recovering.
man.
Yeah, is the health gonna cost him?
Almost gets
Oh
triple
my
resisted
goodness.
there. Yeah, this health loss is unfortunately for Andy going to cost him
Yeah,
here.
it absolutely is. Wow.
You know, he...
Wow. It was looking so good for the first 3 quarters of it.
Yep, that is the danger of doing Tiger versus Dust. If you don't get a cooperative AI that if she
Yeah.
holds block in the corner there, you're gonna start hitting the stand your ground. You're gonna be getting those dust or the sand debuffs on you, and you saw the sandstorm hit, man. So on this last round, we should be seeing Bullseye and Dark Phoenix as we
Oh,
are.
there it is.
Not
Yep.
surprising at all. If this was a rank
No.
3 Bullseye, Andrew would have this cake. This would be a win. But it's a rank 4. I don't know how much damage Andy's going to take. This is going to have to be 2 SP1s out of Bullseye. And we did see Stone take this fight with Spiral earlier. It didn't go as planned, so let's see if it goes a little bit better this time. We see
Okay,
Andrew
Andy. Oh,
throw the heavy
yep.
there to get that taunt up. The taunt does not drop off, which is very lucky. Sometimes that can drop off with Bullseye's shrugging abilities. He baits out the heavy beautifully. Let's see, he's going to push him. I'm a little surprised he
Mm-hmm.
didn't push him to the SP1 there. Okay, he's going to throw the extra taunt. That's huge.
Oh, smart.
He's going to try to bait out this SP1. It's just not going to be enough, though. Not enough range.
No.
Oh, he gets the
Oh
evade.
no.
This is not looking good for
This
Andy
is
here, man.
good.
This
Not
might
looking
be a
good.
3-0.
Yeah, Stone's chipping away. He's looking nice. He's low and slow with Spiral. Trying to be smart. If he closes it out full health or close to,
Yep, this
it's
should
gonna
be
be a
match.
3-0.
3-0. I don't think anybody saw this coming. You know, as good as Stone is and
Oh,
as a problematic roster as he has, oh, he's going to start taking some
oh
hits.
no.
But he should still be fine in this fight. This is where it really hurt that
Yeah.
Andy got that evade there. If he didn't get evaded, he would have had that. Man, that was tight.
Wow.
And that's exactly right there where I said if that was a rank 3 Bullseye, Andy had this round because that Bullseye would have been down. Unfortunately, was left with 10%. Andy was just trying to chunk him down at the end. Unfortunately, it just did not happen. Got
Yeah.
evaded, took the hits. We have Stone at 3-0.
Wow. A 3-0, but we should know it is indeed a best of 9, if I'm not mistaken, which means it's not entirely back against the wall time, but this is about as close as you ever want to touch in a best of 9 series.
Yeah, it really is. Andrew needs to win this round. I just think it's too
Mhm.
difficult with how good Stone's roster is. If you got to win 5 matches in a row, you got to get some insane luck with the drafts, and it's just tough to say that he would be able to do that.
Oh, oh,
Oh, looks like he
he
was thinking
did.
about. Oh, he does ban the
He did.
null. So,
Yeah, he swapped the ban. I think
who
that was a good move.
who was the previous ban? Do you remember?
It was Future Ant-Man.
Future Ant-Man.
He
Good
switched
call.
from Future Ant-Man to Null.
That makes a lot of sense. I think null's just too much of a problem for Andy, and yeah, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and see the rank 4 Enchantress and the rank 4 Bullseye offer up two extremely, extremely good defenders. And Stone immediately gets that spiral for the Serpent on Andy's side. Andy needs to get some more problematic defenders here.
Yeah, I think so. I think he grabbed the Tigra, Stone did. I think he's hedging against that Dark Phoenix with the spiral.
He
I
definitely
think he
is.
feels like he can really lock that fight in and knock it out.
Yep, yep. And that's
Andy
why
getting that big burger over there. That's nice though.
yeah, Spiral is kind of an auto pick, it seems like, for Stone, just with Serpent and Dark Phoenix on the board. Andy, of course, does get the Rintra. That's going to be massive for Andy because Stone just hit a reroll and did not get an ideal counter for the Rintra. Shothra will work. Tigra can work. It's just not easy.
Yeah.
As we see, man, Stone was thinking about grabbing the Rintra as well. Does not. Goes against it. Grabs the Gentle. As we're seeing Andy get the Crossbones, that's going to be his Gentle counter, and then gets the Starkey, which might be potentially his Enchantress counter. He wants to hold that the Kushala because of this. Exactly right here. He wanted to hold the Kushala in case the very last draft round, Stone gets any of these three champions. Kushala is going to work very well for.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, switches it to Domino at the last instant.
Yep.
Let's see if it holds up. It does hold up. Okay, so he snags the Domino off of the dust. What do you think about that last call?
You know, I think he's thinking about that Domino, the Kushala versus Domino. You can take a little bit more
Yeah.
damage in that fight. It's a little bit more RNG based. I do feel like Dust might have been the better option. It would stall, and just intercepting Dust can get a little sketchy sometimes. However, I just don't really see unless he gets really unlucky in this fight. I don't see Gentle taking down this Rincha fast enough to win this round.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stone's just hoping that Domino does Domino things and is going to try to probably as clean as possible.
Yeah, and this might be a throw around for Stone. We don't always know exactly what's going on in their head when they're,
Yeah.
placing their defenders and whatnot. To me, it feels like a throw around, but I also haven't seen Gentle in this fight. I'm not sure exactly how he can do it. On the other end, though, man, we're looking at Andy, and this fight's going down
Yeah.
fast. We got
Yeah.
13 incinerates, 2 of them passives. This is going to be a win for Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I have to agree with you on the Gentle throw round. I mean, the Gentle he didn't draft the Bullseye. He had hedged against it at the very end.
Yep, he had the
And
opportunity
Andy's
to.
got bones over there, and it's just going to be a quick bones rinse. So I
Yep.
think he saw this, moved forward with it, got rid of the Kushala. We'll see where he goes from there.
Yeah, and realistically, we're looking at the defenders on both sides here. Andrew has Onslaught and Serpent,
Yep.
and Serpent should be taken down by that Spiral in about 55 seconds. So Stone's going to place first in the second round here. This is massive for Andy. He can play based off of this. I do believe that if we see one of the more problematic defenders for Andy, I don't know who he's going to consider more problematic. I think we're going to see kind of a throw round in a sense by placing the Serpent.
And leave the longer fight for later.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is difficult to say. Like, who does Andy think is the harder defender here, right? Is it gonna be Bullseye? Is Bullseye because that's two SP1s. Andrew just found out he has to throw two SP1s in that fight. So, does he consider that a more difficult matchup than probably Starkey versus Enchantress? We'll see. I do expect Andrew to throw one of these rounds, though.
Yeah.
I think that if Stone throws the Enchantress down here, I'm expecting Onslaught out of Andy. Let's see exactly what happens here. Yeah.
Try to nuke it down. I could see that.
Basically, Crossbones is a useless champion at this point for Andy. So let's switches it to the Enchantress last second. Yep, there's the Onslaught.
You nailed it. There it is.
And we're going to see the Shothra versus the Onslaught. So Shothra versus Onslaught is actually a fairly consistent fight, but there's always the risk of having bad Onslaught AI. If he goes for a backdash intercept and the Onslaught catches him, it could be dangerous. On the other end, Enchantress does Enchantress things. We've seen it multiple times already in this tournament. but it can be a pretty fast fight if everything goes according to plan. So he's going to get 8 charges here. He's going to start going for some hits.
Didn't
He's
get
going to
any
have to
crits at
bait
all.
this SP1 out eventually, unless he's just going to try to go for the nuke. It looks like he's
I think
probably
he
just going to
might.
try to go for the nuke here. On the other end, Shothra is doing just beautifully against this onslaught. Oh, Andy's going for the nuke. Can
And
he
he
get
is
the
going.
crits?
And he looks like he's gonna make it. Oh.
Oh, does he get the crits? He does. He gets the very last crit.
Oh, the last one.
The
Oh my
last
goodness.
hit. He
The
had to get that
last
crit.
one.
And on this other side, we're just seeing Shothra just take down this onslaught. This is being played absolutely perfectly by Stone. My guy is
Yeah,
just locked in on this tournament.
he really is.
That
He
that
really is.
is
Straight into the special one, but
it doesn't matter.
Andy takes the round.
Andy takes the
He
round.
takes the round,
He did
gets
what
on
he
the
had to do.
board.
Yeah, Andy, he only had to deal with the 3 spells off rip. He was not trying to allow that Enchantress throw another special. Had Enchantress thrown another special, we might be looking at a 4-hour out of Stone here. But luckily, she
I
didn't.
absolutely agree.
There's always the risk of Enchantress throwing special into block, but luckily Andrew got a better Enchantress AI there. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was definitely better than he could have gotten. Very well played, very smart to just go for it. He knew he had to. Luckily, also got that last crit. Had a little bit of bad crit RNG towards the end there.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
worked
At
out
the
for
end and
him.
the beginning. I think his first 3 hits, I don't think he crit in those hits. It was strange
Yeah,
to see.
I think we're really right now starting to see the value of Starkey's Sig. I think the more
Oh, yeah,
the rank 4s
yeah,
that come out, we're really starting to see that value pop up.
I agree.
So Stone's gonna grab the not the Kushala, the Shothra off rip, and Andrew is gonna go for the Tiger and Okoye. Now this is a drafting strategy that we've kind of started to see recently.
Yeah,
I know Liam before he had retired, he was really going for, if he could, he drafted the attackers before he drafted the defenders because it gives the opponent a chance. If you draft a defender early in the round, it gives your opponent a chance to counter that defender. So if you save your defenders for later rounds in the draft, you have the higher probability to have more problematic, unkillable potentially defenders.
yeah. And obviously Liam is Liam for a reason, so I think there's a lot of
Absolutely.
logic in that.
And if
Hey,
we're
what's going on?
looking,
Vega, good to see you.
what up,
Happy
Vega?
Friday.
Glad you made it, man. So here we're seeing Andrew now. He has a bunch of attackers, but he doesn't have the defenders, and perfect. This is lining up exactly how
Wow.
Andy wants it to line up. He's
Right.
getting those defenders. I do think that Enchantress pick was a bit surprising to me. I was kind of expecting the Serpent. I know Enchantress is problematic. I will say I played Stone the other day, and he took my
Yeah.
Enchantress with Weapon X in 27 seconds. I think that's
Wow.
something to note here.
That is definitely of note. I think Andy was just dancing around. He's got the Kushala and the Shothra on Stone side.
He does,
So I think
absolutely.
he was
And
just looking at,
worst things could
not sending
happen.
them both to their death.
And
Yeah,
we
for sure.
see Andy
Gets the
go with a
reroll.
reroll, gets the domino. I think that's a probably preferable reroll. With having a rank 4 dust, I think rank 3, or not having a rank 4 dust like Stone does, I think going domino
Yeah,
makes more sense there.
agree.
So
Yeah, she's definitely chunky for that rank 4.
Andrew has counters for all of this. I think Andrew's going to go for probably Enchantress on defense as well, or we're going to see Dark Phoenix. So Andrew definitely wants to win this round. We should be seeing Okoye versus the Enchantress here. Let's see what Stone does
Okay.
versus the Dark Phoenix. Going with the Okoye as well. So you can
Ooh.
Okoye lock Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
We're seeing the Tigra. That's a bit
Ooh.
surprising.
I was curious if he was gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
he goes with
needed his Tigra and
Phoenix.
he needed his Kushala for the next upcoming rounds. So that makes a lot of sense. He goes with Okoye. And this is where the Okoye dupe comes into play on Andy's side.
Mm-hmm.
Without the dupe, he would not be able to take this fight. He's got to get this intercept off. Now he's got the intercept off. We should
It's right in.
really start to see health start to tick. Unfortunately for Stone, Dark Phoenix throws the SP1. That is not what he wanted. He's going to start taking health because of that. Definitely unfortunate. He held block.
Ooh, Andy dashes in though, and Enchantress hits him with the special one.
Ooh. Oh, he's trying to go for the heavy. I think he should
Oh,
throw the relic here. He should throw the relic
Yeah,
to
I
bait this.
agree.
He doesn't though. So now he's going to be, unfortunately, with that, the heavy does bring down Okoye's combo meter. So he's going to be further away from getting the, gosh, I can't think of what it's called. The
Vicious.
fervor, the vicious. Thank you.
Yeah.
But even on the other end, man, Stone's taking a lot of damage. We should see
Yeah.
kind of an Okoye lock at the end here. It's looking
Yeah, I
like,
think Andy's.
yep, Andy's got this one.
Yeah, just barely, but he's gonna make it out.
Yep. And we didn't see the Okoye lock out of Stone there. I just don't know if it lined up properly for him. A beautiful SP2 decks there. Um,
Yeah, it was.
I do believe that Stone turned off the Nova Flame with the enchant or with Okoye's. Gosh, I can't think of words right now. I can't think of the debuff
Combo.
names. The ensnare.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
failed it.
failed it. Yeah. So of course, lost the round, but it's something to note that she can do stuff like that. So Andy takes round one. This is huge for Andy. He really did have to win that round. On the other end, we're going to see Enchantress thrown down here. Um, we should probably be seeing Weapon X versus this Enchantress, as Andrew's going to go with the Tiger versus the Serpent. Now, this is definitely a faster fight than Kushala, but it's a little less safe. So Andy does go for the Kushala versus the Serpent.
Which is
Um,
it?
yeah, and
And there is that weapon X you were talking about versus the Enchantress.
yeah, so I'm really curious to watch this because I want to see how he did 27 seconds and if he gets it again, or if my Enchantress is just doesn't like me. Um, and we're seeing Andy start this fight off really perfectly, gets the intercept, gets a couple parries on the special. We're seeing Serpent really start to tick down now, but on the other
Yeah.
end, I think I now know how he did his fight so fast.
Yeah, I mean, Weapon X is just doing something insane.
He's just ridiculous. As
And
Andy, ooh,
unfortunately, he gets hit anyway by the special two.
gets hit with the SB2, but this was sort of a throw round for Andy. I do think that he's looking at that dust and was considering who's going to be faster. This is sort of, like I said, it's sort of a throw round. Maybe Andy already knew that Weapon X could nuke the Enchantress, so he's considering who can I take dust down quicker with. Now, Kushala, she's not quicker, she's a little safer than Tiger is. We saw how um, risky the Tiger versus Dust was earlier in this match,
Hmm.
as if Stand Your Ground comes into play and she blocks in the corner, we could be seeing a Sandstorm get thrown on Andy here. I'm sure, of course, he's trying to avoid that. But of course, on the other end, do we see Andy throw down Domino or do we actually see Guardian?
I think we're gonna see Defensive Guardian, Empy. I was just looking at that myself. I think that it's between the energy resistance and what he went through on his end.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be shocked to see the Defensive Guardian at all.
I really wouldn't either. I think it makes a lot of sense with that energy resist. Shathra is energy damage, and Andrew clearly knows
Yep.
that. We're gonna see
Yep.
the Kushala there, so kind of a flip. We saw
It
Andrew do this
is.
fight earlier. Let's see if it goes any better for Stone. Now I know you want to take that armor off with the SP1, and on the other end, Andrew's gonna try to push Dust into the corner yet again and get those heavies going. Ooh, so
Yeah,
Dust is
does
not
not
in the
quite
corner
pull.
just yet, but that's okay. You can. Ooh, that's not good.
Ooh,
Oh, but just a beautiful, beautiful space there.
that was clutch. That was clutch.
And it looks like Stone's
Meanwhile,
actually going for the strategy I was considering earlier with the SB3, but is starting to
ooh,
take some hits.
yeah, man, the light intercepts feel so broken right now.
Yeah, yeah, especially with Kushala, it just doesn't feel very reliable. As this fight is going exactly how Andrew wanted it to go the first time. It looks like Dust is gonna get chunked down here. She should be dead. That is the difference of
Yeah,
having a rank 4
nicely
Tigra.
done.
Absolutely huge. Andrew's not going out without a fight.
Yeah, smart play on his end to throw down the Guardian. Big
Yeah,
energy resistance. This fight, yeah, to your point, I mean, the strategy, if you go SP3s, still going to take some time, though. It's a long animation. It's going to take multiple. You can't just get a bunch of blessings up too easily.
yeah, you really can't. It's just not an ideal fight. I'm seeing in chat, Shothra eats Guardian. Yeah, I personally would have gone Shothra here, Of course, there is
Yeah.
energy damage, but you have your unblockable SP2 at the very least. It is just tough because you really can't get that SP1 off very confidently without it
Mm-hmm.
being auto blocked. So Guardian, man, he's such a valuable rank 3, especially if you have him at Sig 200. Super valuable for this meta, of course, with the bleeds and shocks. They don't really do much damage against Guardian, and as you see here, it worked out very well for Andy.
Yeah. Wild. Wild turn we've got. You can kind of feel that momentum.
Yep, it's
Feel
it's
that
definitely
momentum
shifting.
shift. Yeah. Looks like he's getting his feet under him, just like any championship boxer is getting whacked for a couple of rounds, goes back to his corner and comes out fighting, and he is putting up a fight.
He really is, man. None of us expected Andy to go out without a fight, and he's definitely putting one up here. Let's see if he ties it and goes 3-3, or if Stone can jump ahead and go 4-2 and be playing on game point. So we're seeing the same bans out of Stone. He feels
Yep.
good about those as Andrew
Yep.
keeps the null ban. I think that makes a lot of sense. We talked early in the
Mm-hmm.
match that it was a bit surprising that he allowed the null to keep rocking. Um, Takes him away as Andrew goes ahead and grabs the Kushala off rip here. That Kushala is going to be able to take the dust as um, as Stone gets the Juggernaut and Andy flips it over. He gets the Dark Phoenix, which is huge. Of course, Stone has the Spiral as a counter, but it's not the fastest, and you're probably going to take some damage in that fight too. So,
Yeah. Now
um,
he
I,
does get the fam that Andy was banning for the first few rounds, so let's see if he does something with that and what he's trying to do.
yeah, this is the first time we're seeing Fam show up in Stone's deck. Of course, like you said, he was banned earlier, but yeah, will we see defensive Fam or will we see offensive Fam against Onslaught? That'll be really interesting to see. Um,
Yeah, I'm very curious.
A big thing to note here is that Stone is completely playing away from Okoye, who's one of the most OP defenders or attackers in this meta, arguably the best attacker in this meta. Completely playing away from it. Could have taken the bullseye, does not want to. There's no point in taking the bullseye
Yeah.
there because Okoye would
Yeah.
just absolutely cook it. Rerolls and grabs the Lumatrix, who Okoye can still take. So I think we might be looking at Lumatrix on offense against Rintra.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting call.
I've done it myself, and of course, it's not the absolute fastest, but it's fast enough for sure.
Yeah, well, and those guaranteed crits, right? I mean, that's one of his biggest things is he's just chunky to tank down or tanky to chunk down.
Yeah, it
So if you
helps
can get
him
those
loads.
guaranteed crits, he slaps. I could see that going pretty quick. What's up, by the way, Karate Mike? Good to see
Hey,
you.
what up, Karate
Pablo
Mike?
giving us the rundown on how Shathra takes. Apparently, you can nullify the armor, and then
Yeah,
it
yep,
doesn't matter.
saw that. Appreciate the shouts in chat. Um,
Yeah, you guys are cooking.
so this is the third time we've seen Spiral versus Dark Phoenix. As oh no,
Ooh,
it's not a good start for Andrew.
Andy gets parried trying to counter that dust. Hashtag AI speed up. I'm telling you,
It's a
telling
real
you.
thing, man. And this is
Yeah.
why Andy clearly prefers the Tigra in this matchup, just because it's just, man, this dust is just so difficult to play around. This AI has just been so problematic recently. On the other end,
Yeah.
I didn't see exactly what happened, but Stone did take some damage as well. So if he doesn't start to cook this fight a bit faster, Andy still could have this.
I
Andy just took some hits.
I think it was just Nova Flame. I
Oh
think
man,
that's what
just
he
Nova
was ticking at
Flame.
the beginning until he
Yeah.
took those hits. Yeah,
Oh
unfortunately.
no. Jeez, both of
Yeah,
these
I mean,
opponents, whoever loses this round is going to be really upset because of
oh my goodness.
how the other opponent's playing. It's just Andy, of course now he's probably going to be thinking, "Gosh, I could have played this so much safer and won the round."
Yeah.
But, you know, uh, let's see.
Yeah, I mean,
We will
let's see
see
what
the
Stone can
SP2
do.
out here. I think he's going to have this fight. It's not going to be much health
Oh, it's gonna be
loss.
so close, so close. Oh my
Oh my goodness.
goodness.
Yep. About 600
Oh
points.
my goodness. 600 points.
That's a
Stone comes
tough
out on
one.
top and takes the first round. That's a tough one, man. That rank 4 dust just
Just doing
being a
work.
real bear. Offense
That's
and defense.
something to
Crushing it for
note.
Stone in this one match.
Absolutely something to note there is that if that was a rank 3 dust, that's Andrew's win.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now
that's true.
Andrew is kind of in a difficult
Ooh.
position. We're going to see the fam on defense. That's going to have to be taken by Red Skull. On the other side, we will see Rintra being thrown down. Andrew cannot throw down the onslaught this round because of how fast Juggernaut can take that fight. And here is what we were talking about earlier. We're going to see the Lumatrix
Yep.
versus Rintra. This is
Oh, let's
interesting,
go.
though.
Offensive Luma.
This is interesting. Andy went
Okoye versus Pam.
Okoye. So it is a low sig fam. So that's something to consider here.
Hmm.
He's trying to get
Oh,
this
what's up, Afro?
intercept.
Good to see you. Yeah,
Ooh,
rank 4 dust for
gosh,
sure. Oh,
just having a tough time with those intercepts on Andy's side, man. It's just so
yeah,
risky to go for, but in this meta you have to go for them, unfortunately.
yeah. Okay, he's getting in the flow.
Yep. As on the other
Ventura is
end,
not really playing ball.
yeah, Rintra's really
Oh,
not,
being just a pain.
but it's still 100% health for Stone here, unless he starts to take some
Yeah,
hits. This fight it's definitely not super fast for Andy, but it's going a lot better than I expected it to. He has the vicious passive. We should be seeing the SP2 thrown here, and he should
yeah,
start chunking down faster. But man,
yeah.
oh no, Rintra throws the
Oh,
SP1.
no.
This is what unfortunately makes Lumatrix a much more difficult champion to play if you don't play him very often.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is won by Andy, man. It's the health loss is already
Oh,
too
man, if
much.
it wasn't just if Ventura in the corner with that unstoppable
Yep, that's
just saved Andy's round here,
the
because
problem.
and once that damage starts kicking up,
Yeah, man,
it's looking good. But no, man, Ventura fighting.
just not enough. Um, you
Yeah.
know, and that might be just a lack of maybe experience. Oh, that is an unfortunate error out. He's gonna restart. We should still be fine. We're gonna say I'm gonna tell Andy.
Gotta love the game, ladies and gentlemen.
He lost the round anyways, so we're gonna continue playing this.
Yeah.
We do have
Yeah.
some procedures in place for any disconnects or whatnot. I'm gonna tell Stone here, real quick, to restart the game. Um, yeah, this is why we're seeing a lot
Yeah.
of players go for those restarts because that can happen. And of course, had we known exactly what was going to happen, or had we not known exactly what was going to happen, then it would have been difficult to determine had he had a perfect fight there. But he didn't, so everything worked out just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agreed. And the restarts are a good call. I mean, in earlier rounds, we've seen people restart after every 2 to 3 rounds. These guys are
Yep.
in their sixth round right now. And we haven't seen restarts. So,
Yep.
yeah, the reality is that's
We'll
just where
get an
we're at in
Andy
the state of the
restart
game.
here. So we have Juggernaut versus Onslaught. This is definitely an RNG based matchup. Um, it depends on how many shocks get put on Stone. He's not going to go for taking the hit here. That's a specific strategy that a lot of players use. As on the other end, Andy's playing this fight perfectly. It should only take 2 SP1s. I do think that
Yep.
Andy has the advantage, but Stone's just going to send it here. Can he get the SP2
Oh, my
crits
goodness.
to win the fight?
Crit,
Is he gonna?
crit, crit. Oh, he gets the stand up.
He gets the
Oh,
stand
my
up.
goodness.
That might just be enough. And he still has a lot more health, though.
Oh,
He's not
23
going to
grand of
get. Oh,
health.
he gets the parry. He should
He
have the
gets it.
SP1. He gets unstoppable, though. It doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
Is it going
Oh,
to
it's
be
going to be so
enough? Is
close.
that health loss going to be enough? It absolutely is. That is the issue with Juggernaut in that fight. Even though Stone
Oh,
sent it, and he still pulls out with the extra health with Deadpool.
550 points, ladies and gentlemen. 550 points.
That was close, man.
Wow. Wow.
We were talking about earlier the first match that these two played against each other. I'm going to tell Andrew real quick. Tell him to restart the app. Um, the first match that these two
Alright,
played
he's
against
gonna
each other in this tournament, Rintra was a problem on defense. So we're seeing Andy say, we're not going to deal with that again. We're going to draft, the Deadpool X-Force, who's a very valuable champion because of Stone's rank 4 bullseye. It's just very valuable to grab
Mhm,
him. He can take a lot of different fights in this meta, and we just saw
mhm.
him take down Rintra in 47 seconds, 100% HP. Absolutely massive for Andrew. It's 3-3.
Oh, wow. We're tied up. What a crazy start. And we've gone from being a best of 9 to being a best of 3. Oh, that's amazing.
Best of 3 with these two
That's
opponents
amazing.
who have
Yeah.
6 matches under their belt at this point. They're feeling each other out. Stone definitely came out strong. Andrew pivoted a bit. We talked about early on, will he pivot to the null ban? He does, and now he's won 3 in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gotta be feeling good. I think Stone, he's probably feeling the weight of where we've shifted to now, but he's also gotta feel pretty good. He knows what he needs to do. If he makes his rounds clean, he wins. All right, that's what this is coming back to. So,
Hey Vega, I appreciate
him looking to
the
lock in.
$10 super chat, brother, and I appreciate the kind words. That means a lot.
Hey, let's go.
So,
Let's
yes,
go.
Stone grabs the Lumitrix, just off rip, a really valuable defender. But of course, Andrew grabs the Okoye, so basically shuts down Lumitrix, grabs the Titania as well, a valuable option. As on the
Yeah.
other end, we should see Andrew grab this Rintra again, and do we see the Juggernaut or do we see the Deadpool? I don't think he takes the Mr. Sinister, as Stone grabbed the Guardian in defense of something like that happening. And he does go with a reroll. I was watching Stone
Yeah.
stream. That's a massive reroll for Andy.
Big W reroll. Grabs the Phoenix and the Onslaught. That's a big one.
Yeah, and of course on the other end, Stone did get his dust, grabs the Mr. Sinister as well. So Andrew's gonna have to use probably Shothra versus the Dust and Titania versus the Mr. Sinister. Grabs a Mr. Sinister himself. An interesting choice there. It's gonna be a bullseye counter. Do we see Stone grab the future Ant-Man? We will see the Enchantress. Stone pivots off of that and goes for the Rintra
Yeah.
instead.
I don't
This
think he can
is
turn down that Rintra. I
this
mean,
is an
that
even
cow's been
draft.
putting up
Ooh,
such a fight.
there's a
Ooh,
reroll.
what a move.
There's the reroll. Okay. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see exactly how Andrew plays this. Does he grab Nick Fury? He decides to go for the Dazzler. Nope, gonna shift it over to the Crossbones. That is gonna be his probably his Rintra counter. He really needs the Titania for Mr. Sinister. So let's see exactly how he plays this. We might see Dark Phoenix thrown down here. I think Andrew really wants to win this round, but he might be a little bit worried that he won't be able to.
Yeah.
Yep, he's gonna go for
Okay.
Mr.
Okay. So just
Sinister.
stepping back.
So this is gonna be somewhat of a throw round for Andy. I think we do see Crossbones still. But, I think Andy's considering, hey, either this fight is going to be 40 seconds and 100% HP and I absolutely killed it, or it's going to be a 45K, a 45K points put up, which won't be
Yeah.
Guardian versus the Mr. Sinister. Now, something to note earlier, Stone was talking in this chat, in his chat, I believe, that he's done this fight basically every single time this meta with one SP1 and one SP2.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of chatter from a lot of other players saying that they did not get that kind of luck and needed to throw 2 SP2s. Let's see if he can get away with it here, though.
Interesting.
As Andy on the other end, he's playing his fight perfectly, but it unfortunately just might not be fast enough. We're gonna see the relic be
Yeah.
thrown here. Do we see the
Ultimately Bones versus
SP2?
Rintra.
He throws the
There it is. There it
SP2
is.
and not
Oh
enough,
yeah.
but
Oh, just short.
I think he might, yeah, he's going to bait out this SP2. He's taking a little bit of damage. On
There
the
it is.
other end, Andy's absolutely killing his fight. He's going to get that heavy off to refresh the Furies. He has 12 Furies in his disposal right
Go
now.
for it.
He's going to go for the SP2. That should kill, but yeah, it's just
Oh, wow.
so close there,
I
man. It's
mean,
just that health loss.
less than 1,000 points, but just a wild, again, for what was kind of a throw, so close, so much pressure to perform highly in all of these matchups. That's amazing.
Yeah, high pressure matchups, you can't make a mistake here. And not to say that either player made a mistake in those fights. They played them
No,
perfectly. That just goes
they
to show.
did. It's just absolutely constant pressure, constantly applied.
And
And there comes the Phoenix.
had Andrew won that last round, I think we would like Andrew would have had this game because Stone doesn't really have anybody for this Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to see
Do you think this is
Lumitrix.
the throw?
This is going to be a throw around. Yep, there's the Lumitrix.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And as I was talking about earlier, there's that Titania being used for the Mr. Sinister. Andrew, of course, is going to be hoping that the Intimidate works. Even if it doesn't, Lumitrix is not a very good counter for Dark Phoenix. With the Safeguard, this is a rank 4 Sig 200. We're going to see how fast he can take this fight down, but I just don't think it's going to be fast enough.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
So Andy goes ahead and
I do
baits
want to
out the
watch and
SP1.
see how Andy does this here because my Titania game is weak. Let us learn from the greats, shall we?
And Andrew's definitely one of them. Unfortunately for
Yeah.
Andrew, Mr. Sinister did get two Mystic buffs, so there's a little bit of extra
Yeah.
power here that he has to deal with. He's going to wait out this concussion, wait out the bleed just in case. He's going to go ahead and push in here. He's going to bait out a heavy. He's going to get hit and throw with a haymaker. Absolutely played perfect.
That was
On the other
perfect.
end, it doesn't matter at all. We did not
No,
expect
doesn't
that
matter.
fight to go well. I didn't see what happened, but it doesn't surprise me at all that he unfortunately he did drop there. And Intimidate does not work. Andy is not happy about it. We see him slam the desk, not happy about it. He doesn't know, it doesn't matter. He's all right.
Yeah, better to slam the desk than the phone, as some of us have learned recently.
Very true.
Yes, he doesn't know that he is still home free here at this point in time, going to round 3.
Yep.
We see it on Stone's screen there. What are you looking at for round 3, Empy? What are you thinking? What are we looking at?
The round 3, man, it's in Stone's favor by a large margin here because of that Juggernaut. Andrew really doesn't have the defenders to outpace that Juggernaut. Of course, anything can happen. We
Mhm.
did just see Stone take Juggernaut versus Onslaught in 30 seconds with about 85% health with a 50.5k score.
Mhm.
No matter what Stone throws down here, whether that's Fam or Dust, it's not going to be enough for Shothra to take those fights down fast enough.
Okay. Makes sense. You expect we'll see the dust?
You know, I think Dust is a bit more of a painful defender than Fam can be.
Yeah.
So I do think that we'll probably see the Dust. But Shothra can take that fight somewhat well, whereas the Fam fight,
Yeah.
it could go wrong. I'm very curious myself to see what Stone does here. Regardless, like I said, I think Stone has the advantage of unless Onslaught does some very problematic things.
Okay. Let's see. Let's line it up. There goes no second thought. The dust goes down. The
Yep,
onslaught goes down. The juggernaut goes down.
and there's the Shothra.
Here
There
comes
it
the
is.
Shothra.
A
There it
perfect fight
is.
out of Andy here is absolutely possible, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
Let's see how much health loss Stone takes. He can't get the light off Rip. Ooh, this is a kind of a sketchy AI out of Onslaught off the start.
Yeah, you can already see it. That onslaught is just not wanting to play ball.
Not giving him anything, but he still hasn't done anything
Finally makes it
extremely
through.
fatal to Stone, so he's still in a decent position
Yeah.
here.
And he's in a good ramp right now. He's pushing Dust to special 2, getting his special 1s up.
Yeah, this is just an extremely stingy AI out of Onslaught here. This is where it gets a little bit sketchy with, he takes the SP2 to the face. It gets very, very sketchy when you're trying to bait out SP2s or specials in general when you have a XL versus an XL champion. And oh no,
Oh no.
I didn't see
And
what
he goes
happened
for
there.
the charge and gets hit in the face.
It's hit in the face, man. This is,
Yeah. Oh,
it
that
would have
one's
been
gonna get him.
winnable.
He's gonna. Yeah. Yeah, his onslaught did what he needed to do. But that rank 4 dust again, we say it again.
Yep,
Rank 4 dust has basically played a pivotal role in every one of these rounds.
man. Yeah, Andrews, this is one of those ones that hurts very bad to come out of, man.
Yeah.
Because he's going to see that and he's
Yeah.
going to be like, damn, I had a chance there.
Yeah.
You know, that's almost where Andrew probably was wishing that was a 51k out of Stone.
You're right. You come out and you go, oh, I had no shot at it. It feels so much better than I cost myself a round.
Yep. I didn't see exactly
Oof.
what
Okay.
happened, but
There
like
it
you
is.
said, man, that Dust, it's not a gimme matchup, that's for sure. Especially, you know, if maybe you haven't had enough practice with Dust, not to say Andrew hasn't, but it can be a very difficult matchup, that's for sure. And yeah, like you were about to say, man, we got a 4-3 Stone in the lead. He ends the 3-0 streak that Andy had on him. Let's see if this can go to game 9. Had this been a best of 7, Stone would have taken it, but it's way too high
Yeah.
stakes to be a best of 7, and we're doing best of 9s in the semis and finals of this tournament.
Oh, there is a band switch. Stone takes the Okoye out.
That is a very interesting band switch, man. That is absolutely Andrew's best bullseye counter. So it'll be interesting to see how Andrew drafts. We'll probably see the Deadpool X-Force taken immediately if he shows up. This is massive. We haven't seen Andrew get that rank 4
Yeah.
Tigra in 2 or 3 games here. So
Yeah.
that's huge. Of course,
Oh, and now his mojo's running around too.
his mojo is running around. We don't see the bullseye being taken. That's a bit surprising given that Andrew didn't have the best counters. He does have Nick Fury for him, of course, but we do see the Yelena taken for the first time in this match.
Yeah, here she is finally coming in. Stone switching it up. I like where he's at. He's taking some risks to put this thing to bed.
Yeah, he really is. We finally see the Nick Fury. I think that's in defense of a potential bullseye being grabbed by Stone. Man, this
Okay.
this draft is in Stone's favor through and through, I think.
He is getting a very, very strong draft right now.
He really is. Oh, that Dark Phoenix is massive. Absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, that's a big, big run to get at this point in time.
The rank 4 mojo is the first time we've seen him, but Andrew does not need the rank 4 mojo. We're going to see Andrew go ahead and grab that Shothra. That's probably going to be his counter for the dust. It didn't go very well the first time, but I think he has to try it again because he needs that Tiger for Yelena unless he wants to use Onslaught. But Onslaught's realistically his best defender here until
Ooh,
Stone goes for the reroll and gets, I was gonna say fan, but that is
it's a domino.
huge too. Gets the
Yeah,
domino.
that's big.
That might shift Shothra over to domino. It's gonna be really interesting to see how both players place here.
All right, Andy gets to drive the action, so let's see what he leads off with.
Yep, goes with the Dark Phoenix. Um, you know,
Okay,
could have
he
held the
wants
Dark
this round.
Phoenix for the round 3, but yep, he definitely wants this round. I'm a bit surprised if Stone throws domino here. That's arguably Stone's best defender. We're going to see Shothra. We saw Stone do that fight with
Yeah,
about 87% health in about 50 seconds earlier. I like
doesn't have a
Andy's
need for the
chances
Tigra.
here. And
Okay,
this is where
I agree.
things it gets a little sketchy for Stone because Stone is going to have to place first in the second round, which means Andrew can throw that round if he needs to. And not, this
Mhm.
fight, it's doable for sure. We're talking about Tigra versus Dark Phoenix. It's just you're still
Yeah,
going to take damage in this fight. He's gonna back off. He lets that MD do its
he's
job.
very smart with the MD plays,
Very,
and
very
man, that
smart.
Tigra burst damage is just nasty.
Yeah, it really is. And man, he's just absolutely cooking this fight. This, you
He
know,
really is.
I see the strategy out of Stone here. This is massive. However, we're still seeing damage being taken. He's gonna back off,
Yeah,
let
that's
this
true.
immortality drop off. Stone is still going to be losing about 76% health. Andrew gets the heavy. It looks like Domino failed the bugs. That's not good.
Oh my gosh, Domino.
Domino doing domino things. However, Andy still has the health advantage right now. Gonna throw the
Yep,
SP2
looks off.
again. The bugs actually happened this time. This fight would have been over had she not done what she did. Oh, will the time be the difference here, though?
Oh my gosh, it's
Oh,
so
it's gonna be
tight.
so close. Oh, he can't. Oh, he's gonna have to take some more
Oh, she
health
just
here.
won't
She
die.
won't die. It doesn't matter.
Oh, just another sub 1,000 point pullout on Andy's end. Oh my goodness, Domino.
Unbelievable. Stone was clearly hoping that Domino would do domino things, and she did, but it didn't matter, man. Shothra pulled
Yeah,
through at the end there.
man, and I don't even know that Stone could have played that Dark Phoenix fight any better. That was just natural damage.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, wow, wow.
So now we're seeing round 2. We see a throw round out of Andy here, or do we see Andy just go for the win? Andy has realistically just two very problematic defenders.
Yeah.
I mean, Stone's gonna have to
I think
use the
he kinda
dust
gets the
here.
edge. He kinda gets 2 shots at it, you know?
And this is huge. He has to use dust on offense here. He had no choice. So that frees up Tiger for Enchantress, which is a very doable matchup. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
this could be Andy's to
I
win,
think he
man.
wants this to win, because if not, I think there's a Guardian on the other side that I don't know, doesn't look so hot on defense.
That's true. That Guardian is definitely scary. I wasn't considering that. He's gonna get. Oh, he goes. Andy
Ooh,
just sends it there, man. There's
that's
the
deep.
RNG
Yeah.
worked in his favor. Sometimes you just have to do it. Dust on the other
Yeah.
end can parry this onslaught. That's a very valuable fact about Dust in this fight. She can
That's
parry
true.
the onslaught. She won't get daunted. You'll still get your willpower. There's no way to really lose your willpower in this fight unless unless onslaught parries you.
Oh,
This
but then
oh
you see
yeah.
Tigra doing Tigra things, and that Enchantress is just eviscerated.
Absolutely dominant
34
gameplay out of
seconds.
Andy to make this go to a game 9, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Let's
arguably
go!
we had an extremely exciting match earlier in this tournament with Apple and Jackie going to game 7. This one might be even better.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow.
This
I
is a
guess we shouldn't have
4-4.
expected anything less, should we? This is
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I mean, really, Andrew's, the C1 King, arguably one of the best Battlegrounds players to ever play the game. And Stone, on the other hand, man, is just a very, very highly talented player with one of the best built decks in the game.
Yeah.
We're going to game 9, man. I'm what I'm really hoping for is a fair draft where both opponents have
Yeah.
counters. I don't want to see an outdraft by either opponent. I want to see them have to win by like you were saying, man, within 500 to 1,000 points in these perfect fights.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, by the way, very clean fight, Dust versus Onslaught, but just, rank 4 big chunky Onslaught. Just took too much time.
Exactly. Yeah, very well
Too much
done
time.
out of Stone. It really puts into perspective the versatility of having that rank 4 dust. She's not just for defense, man. She can be used for offense as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Man,
saw Pablo in the chat asking earlier, is Dust a better rank 4 than Onslaught?
there's
Tough to rate anyone over Onslaught, but Dust, man, she's something else at rank 4.
I think there's a conversation to be had there. I do think you do need to consider the value of Shocker as an attacker in that situation. Shocker
That's true.
absolutely eviscerates Dusts, even at rank 4. Um, looks like Stone's going to forfeit this one and restart. That's smart. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Andrew to do the same. Yeah,
What's up, Apple?
we
Good to see you.
we would not want to disconnect in game 9 at all.
No, 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 no. We don't want any of that. Kabam, let us play. All right. Don't want any yellow flags. Don't want any foul calls. Give us a draft. Let our boys go at it. No errors. Just let us play. That's all we're trying to do.
Pray to the Kabam gods. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I'll pray to the one up top, man.
This
He tells those guys what to do.
it doesn't get any closer than this, man.
Mm-mm. No. Oh, we're earning it. These boys are earning it, ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen. Money on the line.
This match right here is for $300 guaranteed.
Wow.
$300 guaranteed on the line with a chance to get $500 in the finals. Let's see who takes it. Do we see any band switch ups is the question.
Let's see. I think Andy's set. I'm curious if Stone's going to revert or if he's going to keep the Okoye.
Yeah, we saw that shift.
He does. Is he going to do it?
Is he going to take the Tiger away? This is a crazy game.
Oh, wow.
A
Wow.
game 9
What a
shift.
play.
I mean, that's huge, man, because that was really Andy's only answer to Dust.
Yeah, he takes the Dark Phoenix and Tigra and bans them.
Yeah,
That
he
is a game 9 play by Stone. Let's see if
absolutely
it pays off.
game-changing play, man. Now, the biggest thing here is I don't know what Stone's roster's looking like to counter Photon on defense. It'll be really interesting to see what he does there. I think
He
Andrews,
grabbed, that's why he grabbed the Luma.
Yeah, I think that's why he grabbed the Luma because we normally see Stone ban the. Okay, so he does have a Crossbones. Let's see if he takes it. Does not take the Crossbones. Takes Kushala, who's going to be great for Serpent, and gets the Deathless Thanos. Do we see Andy get a counter for Deathless Thanos? No, we actually see a shift. We're going to see the Crossbones.
Oh,
That is a
there it is.
defensive, offensive play out of Stone. He does not want to have to deal with Photon on defense potentially. And Andrew's going to go ahead and grab the Maestro. That's going to split the Kushala,
Yeah.
except for the fact that Stone's about to get that Juggernaut. Juggernaut versus Maestro in this meta is not ideal. Stone's unfortunately having a little bit of connection issue right now. We might have to restart this.
No, no.
He doesn't. He doesn't. We're fine. We're fine. So he's going to
Okay.
get the Juggernaut and the Deathless Thanos. We're going to see a reroll out of here, out of Stone here, I think. And it looks like I am a little bit off on the timers here.
Yeah, I'm working on catching things back up here.
I don't know exactly what happened there, but
Oh, Andy
okay.
hit the re-roll.
Did he hit the reroll? What did he get there?
Andy hit the re-roll. And
He
it
gets a
looked to me
Nick
like he grabs the
Fury.
Nick Fury at the very end.
Man, he doesn't. He does have a good option for this gentle. He's gonna throw the domino down. Do we see Juggernaut or Kushala used here? This could be huge. If Stone loses this round, he's gonna be in a very difficult situation versus either Serpent or
Might.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna go Juggernaut here. We have Guardian.
Okay.
This is gonna be tight.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a big execution match. Big execution. It's going to be so much tone set.
All right, we're good
Let's
on both
see.
ends. Man, this could
Yep.
be on either end. This is going to be very tight. If Stone gets the Fury on his SP2, he could take this fight extremely fast. It might be too fast for Andy to outpace it.
It might, but I mean, he's chunking that gentle down.
Yeah, he really
You see it
is.
coming in.
He plays that
That's an
perfectly.
interesting move.
Plays around. Oh man, Stone is just he got the Fury. He's gonna bait out this SP2. He has so much health, man.
He
Oh,
really
he gets
is
the double
having like a
evade. That
great
hurts.
run.
He's starting to take a little bit of crit failure damage. He's down to 93%. He's down to 92%. 91. Oh, he's dropping fast. As on the other end,
Yeah, that crit fail's
oh man, this is gonna be tough. He's gonna have to play
Yeah.
around this unstoppable here. He baits out the heavy. That's huge. What an impressive play out of Andy there. He just needs to get this SP2 off. He gets the intercept. He's gonna go for the SP2. That should take him down fast enough. That's gonna be enough
Is it
health.
fast enough?
You cannot play that fight any more perfect.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and as I see in chat, Stone had to win that round one. Now he's in a very difficult situation. However,
Oh my goodness.
Andy does have to deal
100
with the
points.
Deathless Thanos.
100 points, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a absolutely perfect match out of Andy there. Andy's going to go ahead and throw the Maestro down. Now this is going to be tough. As okay, we're going to see the Serpent instead. However, either way, man, Andy or Stone's not in a really good spot here.
No.
We're going to see Lumitrix thrown down. That would be shocking because Okoye can take that fight extremely fast. Ooh, Kushala can take this fight fast too. You know, I just feel like Stone didn't have enough defenders there, man.
Yeah,
I was
that doubling back for that crossbones for the photon that never showed up, I think bit him a little bit.
It really did, man. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
man. He shifted his ban strategy at the end here. But either way, both opponents need to play their fights very well here.
Yeah.
It's not over just yet. We're gonna go ahead and see that parry off. And man, you know, the thing is Okoye just shuts down Lumitrix with not being able to evade.
Yeah.
We don't see a passive soul barb here. Oh man, yeah, this fight should be over. It looks like Andy's gonna take this. Oh, Stone gets parried at the end there, man.
It's so fast.
Wow. Unbelievable match. Insane. Really unbelievable, man. That I don't know if Andy has the range to win that match if he doesn't win that round one.
Yeah. Yeah, 100 points.
What a match.
Wow.
That was that's so crazy, man. Wow.
Yeah, and
Congratulations to
Stone.
Andy. Stone
Yeah,
just beautifully played all tournament. Unfortunately, just drops at the
amazing.
very end, man. Just didn't have the draft that Stone was looking for. Andy played
Yeah,
that fight to perfection. Man, Stone just unfortunately had the bad domino RNG at the end there too. I think
yeah.
Stone played that as well as he could have. We started to see that crit fail just tick down his health.
I
Man,
mean, it really was such a domino move to get hit down under 10% and just
yeah.
take more damage than she had the rest of the fight,
Oops,
just
I
waiting
have the
stuff
wrong.
out.
Stone is not at 5. My bad.
Oh, so wild.
Stone is at 4. That is,
So wild. What an incredible match.
yeah, incredible match. That was arguably the best tournament match I've ever even watched. And just GG's to both opponents. Like I said, man, Stone went up 3-0. It looked like he could run away with this. Andrew just clutched up at the end and came through, man. I think we're really going to be coming back to that the band switch up there, man. I really do.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's, beyond the fight put up, and the close losses, when it's a tournament, it's kind of the same thing like you're talking about in a match, right? When you come out and you get blown out, it's one thing. When you come out and you had some chances to win, you made some calls at the end. I'm sure Stone's going to walk away from this reflecting,
Yeah.
reflecting on how this match went and the calls that were made and where we wound up.
Yep. And thinking about how things could have gone, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, just again, beautiful fights out of both opponents. We could talk all night about it, but you guys just watched it. You can rewatch the VOD. I know I will. That was so unbelievably intense. It doesn't get better than this, man. You have the best of the best going at it, and they put on a show, man. And now we're gonna have Andrewtheruff in the finals. Stonehenge is not out of this tournament just yet. Stone will be playing for the third place match, which is a pretty large difference in, I believe it's, I want to say, is it $150? I want to say it's $150 compared to $50. So it'll definitely make a difference. And Stone will be back. But Andrew's moving on to finals.
Congratulations to Andrew the Rough.
Yeah, major congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're going to go ahead and look at the bracket really quick. So let's shift over here. We got the window capture. Okay, let's.
Wow. That's my old heart's gonna take some time to recover from that one.
Yeah, man, I can't even imagine. Their hearts must be just racing out of their chest.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever seen Andy been given a run like that for his money.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
sure
it
he's
was.
lost. I'm sure all the things, but my goodness, of all the times, right? He's uh he's got to be feeling that for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that was a rough one for Stone to lose, and just a beautiful one for Andy to win. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the bracket real quick. Um, just check this out before we end the stream. Oop, we're at the bracket. Let's look at this. We're gonna go ahead and give Andrewtheruff the 5-4 win.
Wow.
Just insanity, man. And now we look at the
Yeah.
bracket. That bottom side of the bracket is much more slowly moving than the top side. We have Barrow. He's waiting for this next match right here. We got Zuzu and Self Destruction. Zuzu is actually streaming his match, I believe, here very soon against Doppel or Self Destruction. So we're gonna raid 2 people tonight. We're gonna raid, I believe, Afo. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is Afo
Let me make
starting the
sure he's
stream?
live.
Okay, once Afo
Let me
goes
make
live, we're
sure
gonna
he's
raid
live.
Afo. Everybody hop in there, say what's up. Afo's the homie. We're also gonna send people to Zuzu's way so we can watch Zuzu's stream, and then we'll be able to see what opponent Barrow is gonna be facing next in this tournament. And then of course down here we have Jackie and Misery Man, the two Game 7 warriors facing off against each other to take a spot in the semifinals to potentially face Barrowman, Zuzu, or Self Destruction.
I'll go ahead and post links in the chat for both of them.
Perfect. I appreciate that, Pablo. It's been a blast, man. This I really couldn't have asked for better matches out of these opponents.
No, the last couple matches have been just incredibly wild, and
Unbelievably
a true
intense.
testament to the talented people in this tier of Battlegrounds. I mean, just
Yep.
neck and neck, pushing to the very end. Decided by 100 points in one round there at the very end.
Yeah.
1,000 throughout most of them. Just incredible matches.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just about as tight as you can get these matches to be. It's like I said, it's been a blast, and yeah, I appreciate everybody for stopping by, showing love. Shout out to again Andrew and Stonehenge for the match. Shout out to Truth for commentating with me. Appreciate you, brother. And yeah, man.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, man. I appreciate it.
So yeah,
Amen.
I think we're gonna call it there. I'm not doing any more streaming tonight. I am relaxing. Hearts through the roof. So we're gonna chillax. Yeah, that is the bracket. The next tournament match that we'll stream, it might be Jackie and Misery. I don't know if I'll be streaming Barrow's match against whoever wins. We'll see exactly what happens there. We will be streaming semifinals down there, and of course, finals will be streamed as well. You can look out for the finals. You know, we'll have some posts about it when they get scheduled. My guess is you'll probably see the finals on either Monday night or Tuesday night. It's going to be one of the two. We'll make it happen before the season ends, and I'm excited for it, man.
Amen to that, man. If there was anything that was going to get us juiced up and ready to go, it was that match we had tonight. Thank you again for the opportunity. Chat, peace to all of you. Let's give this man a W. Share this thing around and show him some love. Thank you, Empy. It's appreciated.
Of course. Appreciate y'all. Everybody have a great rest of your Friday night. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and we will see you in the next match.